everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Birch Press Design. So this is actually my first design team project for them for the year 2020. So I'm still having fun creating with, I don't know if we want to call them the 3/4 size, layering plates. Remember, these plates here, they're not a full size plate. This here is actually 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so you can see the difference in the size. It's not a full plate, but they also have the strip that can go up on top, and these are purchased separately. So when it comes to this, I mean, you can actually fill your card because these are 4 1/4 wide, but if you straddle them correctly, you could actually create what I refer to as a split panel. Again, I use very non-descriptive technical terms because it just makes it easier for myself. So you can see by having this, you've got this split and your sentiment can go right in between there, or a die sentiment can actually straddle right over that. And it would help for it to be defined. So the areas though, or the portion that I'm only going to focus on is this bottom half. You can do the same thing that I'm doing here with the top half. Okay, and I'll have, wow, that was loud because glass top just dropped it. Yes, because I throw everything. Okay. You can do the same thing that I'm doing with this with your strips, because the sentiment that I'm going to pull in is the love. So this is their large script. Love, you've got the background, and then you have the top here. So this is actually going to sit just above this panel here. So it's creating an interest point at the bottom of your card instead of all of it throughout. So keeping the top clean, so to speak. And then just looking at this. I will show you what one card looks like with both of these. But what I'm also using here too are very non-traditional colors for Valentine's Day. When we think of Valentine's Day, 9 out of 10 we are thinking of pink and red and whites. That's about it. Maybe a little black in there. But me, I will go to a non-traditional color for the holidays. It's not the color that makes the holiday. It's what reminds us of the holiday. It's what triggers us to say, hey, we're close to Thanksgiving because of the autumn colors. We're close to Halloween because of the lime green, purple, and black and orange. You know, Christmas, we are kind of getting into more showing and having a memory with non-traditional colors, you know, like black, gold, and white, or the aqua lime green and bright red and white, or the traditional, you know, hunter green, deep red, and ivory. So again, there's these colors that are coming in. So I'm just going to play with some different colors. So again, one card's going to show what both panels would look like on this side here, or whichever side I choose. And then the other one, I'm just going to use this smaller panel. Because you can see this one works very well on its own. It's not a continuation, where this one here, if I place this here and then set that there, it kind of goes together. It creates that illusion that these are connected. So that one, this is the design that I'll show with everything together. And then this one, you'll see, you know, this one works very well by itself. So I'm going to get all of my die cutting done. I'm going to get that ready, and I will be right back. Talk soon. Okay, so we are back. You know, I have to be careful tapping on this since it's glass. Oh boy. All right, so now we're just going to get ourselves organized. So we'll set those off. And we're just going to clean these. For some reason, you know, it's funny, in the card making world or the paper crafting world, I've always said it, you know, there's so much you can do with paper. You can this, that, you know, and I just rattle through it and everything else. But the one thing that I find amazing when it comes to having the embossing powder heated, or running a piece of paper through a machine with an embossing folder in it, so you get that texture, whittling all these little pieces of cardstock out of your panels when you're done die cutting. I don't know, I just find that relaxing. It's very odd, I know. But the one thing that I do love is the ease at which these pieces just kind of, I mean, I can just roll my fingers right over this and these pieces are just popping out. Now, that tells me a couple things. And again, this is just me and my thought process. So the die cutting machine that I use for this is my Spellbinders Platinum 6. What that tells me, when I'm able to do that and I'm running these pieces through in one pass, I'm just going to set these up here, you know, just not going back and forth. I literally just go this way and boom, it's done. And I'm able just to run my fingers along that. I'm going to get these out of my way here. That tells me a couple things. First thing that tells me is the die itself is extremely etched. It's got deep ridges, so it will take on any cardstock. It'll handle the thin, it'll handle the thick. I do think that on Birch Press Design dies. They have a very thick and high level of cutting that goes into this. The other thing that it tells me when I'm able to do that is the die cutting machine that you are using, or I am using, is balanced. And what I mean by that is the roller hasn't shifted. You have equal pressure going on in your die cutting machine with the rollers. They haven't shifted. So how can that happen? Well, over time, you know, those rollers can do that. However, what I feel is a factor within this, when it comes to those rollers, is really when we have our plates flat. Now, I know I'm going to get the comments. I get it. Yes, my plates bow like crazy as well. Here's what I realized that my plates bow. If I pay attention, we all know that doesn't happen. But if I pay attention, see, that's even funny to me. If I pay attention to my plates, and if I keep moving my dies that I'm cutting with, every time I die cut, if I take into account, let's say this is my plate here. If I take into account where I'm putting this, now if this is a plate, I'm going to put this in the center. But what I could also do is put it on the edge, and then the next piece that I run, put it on the next edge, then flip the cutting plate, because I always cut down. My cutting edges are always down onto a pad. I never have my die cutting up into a pad. Now, the top plate always usually stays flat. Now when that curves, and I have it set right here. When this top plate starts curving, it's not a good thing, because you're not shifting this, you're not flipping it. If you constantly flip your plates every time you use it and put them in different spots, you will be able to keep your plates flat for a longer period of time. And take notice what I said, a longer period of time. It's not going to last forever. Eventually, you will have to replace your plates however you want to replace them, whether you want to buy the plates specifically for the machine or if you want to use the cutting mats. I know people do that as well. Totally your choice, whatever you want to do. But I do find that if I just keep shifting the die around, top, bottom, left, right, four corners, and then keep flipping that bottom plate, my plates stay flat for a longer period of time. I've had it last up to 4 to 5 months. There I go again, tapping on that glass. I'm so sorry. But again, once that's done, now again, I'm doing a lot of die cutting. I'm constantly doing this. So, and you could be too. So, or maybe not. You know, again, everyone's got different modes on how long they craft, when they craft, and how often they craft, and why they craft. So, mine's a sanity. I'm just saying, it's sanity. It will give you a better life. I've never tried putting my plates in the oven. It's bad enough I put paper in the oven. I'm just not going to go there. I freak out when I put my paper in the oven, my coffee dyed paper. So I can't have too many stressors. So again, that was just a little side piece that I thought maybe might help somebody. Now, while I was talking, I probably should have continued on and glued these together, because that's what I'm going to do now. So yeah, for me, it does seem to work, but yes, I do go through a lot of plates. I honestly do. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I want to use what works in the machine. But the one thing I will say, and again, I started out with Big Shot. I am not saying that Big Shot is not a good machine. It truly, truly is. I do find that the Spellbinders, it feels solid, more so. Again, that's just my opinion. I've never tried the Gemini. I've heard wonderful things about the Gemini. And also the Gemini Junior. So, oh my, did I put this? Hold on. I think I went upside down with that. So, oh yes. So when it comes to these dies, so let's get back to the card. When it comes to these dies, you'll see, you know, I've got a good layer going on here, and you can see that I have this step that's going on here. I don't know, can I get that close? Will it stay in focus? I hope. But you can see I have that step there as well. So it's kind of cool, and you'll see that more when it comes to this side once we get there. So I'm going to get this in there as well. And me, I am one that I shop around for the best price. Could be Amazon, it could be scrapbook.com, could be Simon Says, you know, who's got a coupon, who doesn't, where's a coupon, all those stuff. So I do all kinds of hunting around when it comes to getting the plates that I need. As everyone should, you know, shop around. Absolutely. All right, let's get this down. So I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure, because if you do, you can put this on upside down. but you do want to make sure that it is sitting. It should be flush on each side. And as you can see, you've got that step coming right off the top. You don't have it here, but you do have it up there, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to set that one aside, and now I'm going to glue these together. So what's also great about these dies as well, yes, they are at a higher price point. Absolutely, especially when it comes to the full panel background dies. What's nice with this set, because you get the different layers, you get it split. So this, of course, is going to be on that one side. But what's nice is you don't have to get all of the layers. You can just get the top layer when it comes to their layering dies. And you can do beautiful backgrounds with those. And I'll be showing some of those, what I'm talking about, in future videos. Because I'm actually starting to, yeah, see, plan. Awesome, me. Yay, me. Okay. I'm actually starting to plan. Now, okay. So here's my definition of planning when it comes to that. Writing down an idea. That's my definition of planning. I don't do sketches. And if I do, it's a piece of scrap paper, and it's like, okay, sun up here, and it's a circle, and then this here, and I'll write some notes down on that piece. I can guarantee you whatever I've written down on that piece of paper, it will change by the time I get the video together, because it's just something that I do. We always change our minds. That's the beauty of crafting. This video actually started, and watch, I'm going to say this and people go like, yeah, we want to see that. This actually started with Birch Press also has that hello die, and I just don't have it near me, where it goes across the card, and then the hello, the cloud comes up so it could come off the card. That's the one that I was actually going to do. And as I was pulling the papers and all of that, I changed my mind. So we do. I mean, we always take different, go in different directions and, change our minds. Because as we create, we come up with other and new ideas. And usually it's because, okay, I got to try that. Ooh, I got to try that idea. To me, that's what's fun with crafting is, what can I do? How far can I take this? Because honestly, it's not like my chemistry class where the teacher said, okay, we must graduate you. Because I'm curious, what will this do if I do this? Yeah, there's some things you can't mix together. Yeah, I was fun in class. I made things interesting. I'm just saying. So, okay, back to the card. All right, so you can see here with this card, you can see the center. So let me lay that down there. So you can see the center, how it steps, even from the center. Not on the sides and on the bottom. They're all even, but in the center, it's actually going to step. It actually shows all the layers. So that's what's really cool when it comes to these dies. But again, each of the sides are separate and can make very unique cards. Now, of course, I also did already cut out my sentiments as well. I have those ready. So I cut the sentiment itself, the top portion, in white. And again, I'm using the word love. That's something that we definitely associate with Valentine's Day. But we can put any word there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue these together and get them propped up on here. And when I come back, we're going to start putting our cards together. Be back soon. Okay, so now we're back. So I have my 2 card bases here. I'm using my Desert Storm. And these are top folding 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding cards. These are my standard A2 size. So with this, I can go directly onto my card base. So if I put that there, and then if I put this one right on the top, you know, now I have those colors, and then I'm going to bring my sentiment in. So let's put our glue onto our panel. All right. So we'll place this down and make sure we're even on each side. We're going to place our top. As you can see, I am not neat with the glue. Okay. So now that's on there as well. Just going to put a little bit of pressure. That's the beauty with the art glitter glue that I use. It's very fast grabbing. It does not take much. And a lot of times I don't have to use an acrylic block. I am going to prop my sentiment up using some foam squares. Now, what I need to make sure is that they're going on along in the center. So I will make sure that they are cut. So just going to go there. Going to come across. And then I'm going to hold that one off. I need a skinnier one. I'm going to put that there. So now this will be able to sit just like that. And we'll remove those release papers. And we'll set that in place. I'm not going to worry about the gap that's below anything that's up here or down in here, because once this goes through the nails, if this gets squished, it's going to lean right up against those edges. So I'm good with that. Okay, so let's look at our second one. So we have some choices because we have this step bar that's going across there. Well, what I'm actually going to decide to do is I'm going to cut that off. I'm using my Tonic 9.5 shears. And I'm just going to keep trimming because, of course, I went crooked. There we go. And what I want to do is I want to set that... Oh, no, I'm still crooked. Not on there. I'll get this yet. So I'm actually taking my scissors and I'm placing them on an angle underneath the aqua cardstock, just to make sure that I'm getting the white and the pink. Okay. Yep. I was able to see it when it was sitting up on my card panel. So I'm actually going to take that one and I'm going to place that right in the center. And you know what? I just changed my mind. So you'll see where we're going to go with this. because now I kind of got to keep going with it because I'm putting the glue on there. Do not have time to rearrange all of this. All right. Yeah, I'm awesome this way. You know what? I'm going to go down just like this. Because I'm actually okay if a panel is crooked or on its side, however we want to say that. I think it adds interest. I'm really not a person that... It all depends on what I'm doing for me to have the matchy-matchy, for me to have the 90-degree angles. Now, I am still going to prop this up. Pull that other one in that I cut. Okay, maybe not. Oh, there's just times. And let's trim that corner. We'll remove our release paper. Okay. And we'll press that down. So these are our two cards. Again, using the same base, a standard A2 size card base. I'm actually going to grab my glitter pen because I do want to add some glitter. Standard A2 size card bases. Used both sides. You can see how the center does step away from each other. It's actually part of the layering. But if you simply just cut the layering off of the one side, you now have a smaller panel. You don't have the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel, which is absolutely fine. You don't need that. Used very non-traditional colors. You know, yes, I have a pink. Yes, I have, in some cases, a dark red like I do here. But in this one, I pulled in an aqua. And for this one, I pulled in a lime green, which is very acceptable. Again, they're your cards. Use the colors that you like. The sentiment says it all. What you write inside says it all. So it's just something to keep an eye out. Again, you know, you're not going to have all of these stamps maybe, but use what you have in your stash to create those Valentine's card, and you can turn anything into a Valentine's Day card. So just remember that and keep that in mind. So I do hope you enjoyed the projects that we made today using the Birch Press Designs layering die. I will have these dies linked down below in the video description if you wanted to check them out, see the individual, and so forth. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below as well. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of my group here. Make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is live and ready for you to watch. I hope everyone is having a great day. It is actually snowing today. Yay me! But that's okay. I'm able to get in my craft room, turn on all my lights, and spend just a little bit of time with you. And always, always be creative.